He's like, okay, maiden burn, that okay. That's horrible. I just realized, why does this hero have a belt on his forehead? Is it really a belt? Trusting. Okay, this time we're going to trust the maiden. Oh, you know what? That does look like a belt, doesn't it? Now we believe her story. That's totally a belt. You have no reason to assume she's lying to you. Even though her story is kind of hard to believe, you feel you should trust her. You tell her they're pretty surprised that everyone has been wrong about demons all along. The townspeople must be informed of this immediately. The two of you return to the village. They had all been so worried. They praise you for your bravery. But the maiden quickly sets the record straight. There was nothing she needed to be rescued from in the first place. The villagers look to you for explanation. You politely inform them it isn't your story to tell. You merely ran into her on the way to the castle. She explains that the Overlord isn't interested in capturing maidens, or anything of the sort. The villagers turn to you again in disbelief. They aren't being subtle in how little they trust this maiden's story. You totally believe her. But to placate these fair citizens, you volunteer to speak to the demons personally, just in case. The crowd breaks into hushed whispers. They're too busy thinking what a great and reliable hero you are to hear what they're saying. No, not the elders. They're both going to die. The town elder's voice breaks you out of your thoughts. He implores you to meet with the Overlord immediately. Oh, we're not dying. Okay, good. And says they'll all keep an eye on the maiden until you return. You figure that sounds alright, but the mood is kind of intense for some reason. Did you miss something? You aren't sure what's going on, but you get the feeling it might be bad to leave the maiden on her own. But she suddenly takes off running. Oh, you thought the two of you were in this together. Her actions have convinced the crowd that she's obviously been a liar and a witch from the start. People are shouting for you to hunt her and her demon friends down already, but that doesn't seem like a very heroic task. You can't help but feel these people are wrong. It's up to you to catch up to her and talk to the demons in order to clear up this misunderstanding. You valiantly dash after the maiden towards the Overlord's castle. But you were too late. Through the unguarded gates, you spot a group of demons surrounding a body. The maiden. She was a fool to have trusted the demons after all. Your hero blood is boiling. You'll avenge her death. You charge through the gates to eliminate every demon you see. What the f are you doing killing all my soldiers? The Overlord is angry. I played this game and I love
it. Been 67 Blushy's Hungry Paimon.
I'm so glad you played it. This was a gift from Tyler so that way we could play it. I'm super excited. I love Nami's games. So gotta get all those endings. Thank you for the biddies, by the way. The Overlord is angry. You vow to exterminate her and all of demonkind. You clash again and again, but the Overlord isn't going down easily. You're both dangerously low on health. When everything goes black, your quest has come to an abrupt end. Unlucky hero end. How do we change that up? So wait, that probably means we have a new ending for her. Because of the trusting. We will go ahead and introduce. We obey her. He is very surprised that demons don't seem to be as malicious as you were raised to believe. The two of you return to the village, hoping to communicate this to everyone. They had all been so worried and are very glad that the hero brought you back. You quickly set the record straight. You weren't rescued, because there was nothing to be rescued from in the first place. The villagers seem confused and look to the hero for an explanation. He tells them he only ran into you on his way to the castle, and that it isn't really his story to tell. You explain to them how you met the Overlord, that she's not actually interested in capturing maidens or other mean things like that. The villagers look again to the hero for confirmation. You feel a little miffed that they seem to prefer his word over yours. but you don't say anything about it. The hero proclaims that he believes your story, but volunteers to go talk to the demons himself, just to make absolute sure. The crowd breaks into a hushed whisper. You hear words like trickery and demon sympathizer being thrown around, which makes you frown. You're pretty shocked that everyone this hesitant to believe you. Does the hero even trust you? You aren't sure anymore. An old man implores the hero to go speak with the Overlord immediately. He says you should be held prisoner and considered dangerous until the hero returns. Much to your disbelief, the crowd agrees with him. Because, of course, if you were conspiring with the demons, they can't afford to let their guard down. The whole village would be slaughtered by monsters. The hero isn't saying anything. You'll be tied up and tossed into a cell at this rate. If you're going to be held captive by anyone, it's going to be the Overlord, not your fellow countrymen. Ah! So, we'll get an ending by leaving on our own and, dying, but we gotta get the ending. Time to die. You can prove yourself without anyone's help. You make a run for the Overlord's castle, leaving the hero behind. A suspicious group of demons stand just outside the entrance. They're talking about assassinating the Overlord. They immediately notice you overheard them. The underling you recognize from before is the first to do something about it. This is just the way it has to be. They suddenly attack you in that moment. You regret having ever trusted the demons. You die instantly. No. The death. Time to do it again. This time we get thrown in a cell. This time we can grab the hero and run. Oh, I guess we're not getting thrown in a cell. I thought maybe we'd stay behind. You boldly announce that you'll accompany the hero to prove yourself. You'd rather risk what's out there instead of staying in a village that doesn't trust you. No one seems to know how to react. You grab the hero by the wrist and take off before anyone stops you. Near the castle entrance, you spy a group of suspicious demons congregating. They're talking about assassinating the Overlord. You have to warn her. But the hero shakes his head. He says that if this is the true nature of demons, the world is better off with less of them. This isn't right, you think. What kind of hero passes up the chance to save a life? The demons have taken notice of you. It's now or never. You take off into the castle, and the unreliable hero follows shortly after. You burst into the Overlord's room, all your words spilling out at once. You should probably slow down, but there's no time. The Overlord seems to have followed your frantic explanation, but clearly doesn't understand the urgency of the situation. The underling you recognize from before barges in, calling you a liar. You're surprised they were a part of this evil plot. They seem to be nice. The other demons come in right after them, saying the whole thing was the first underling's idea. Everyone's shouting at each other now. It's really stressing you out. You are relieved when the Overlord demands silence. She threatens them with violence, and you think she is very Overlord-like in this moment. The group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the little one behind. You watch as it pounds on the door in distress. Have they locked you all in? You have a bad feeling about this, and thinking that they must have jinxed it, because now the room is engulfed in flames. If only you had ignored those demons before, you and the hero wouldn't have stumbled into this situation. If you had just pretended not to hear them, if you left, as you were told, only the Overlord would have been killed. But you could have done that. That path isn't an option for you. You think that no matter what, you'll always strive for the path where everyone survives. It must exist. It simply must. The Overlord seizes her underling. They beg for their life. You pray. You don't know what else to do. So you just pray. The Overlord's claws pierce the underling's chest. They scream an awful scream. She digs and twists her claws into the poor thing while you continue to pray. But there's no saving any of you now. You, the Overlord, the hero, and the underling's corpse are consumed by flames. Ah, Devout Maiden End. So maybe no tyrant or disloyal? Maybe we have coward? And we go through the maiden's perspective again? I'm out of drink. Remove the soil? Yes. I agree. We need a loyal underling. Just one loyal underling. Alright, I'm gonna go grab some water. It'll just be in a can. I'll be back in like 2 seconds. Alright, Tabitha. You get to sit here and wait. I need like a little chair here or something to put my little Tabitha here when I leave. That'd be so cute. Alright, to be right back. I am back. This is a nice game. This is a good game so far. But I've always liked Nom Nom Nummies games. You like Lonely Wolf Treat. Oh, I can't wait till they make the next game, but they can take their time. Take as much time as they need. We will eventually get it. I'm glad they worked on this one. I like this one. I'm glad that they actually put a payment on it, because like a lot of their other games are free, and I want them to, you know, earn something back for all their hard work. Yes, they deserve the muns. Does anything change from like the Overlord waking up to these two barging in? Grant them the day off. I think we had to have Tyrant on. Or we don't, because either way they're gonna show up. Alright, tell her she better go home. But she leaves! The maiden does what she's told and takes her leave. You figured you may as well go back to bed now. But you don't get the rest for very long. The maiden suddenly bursts into your room, accompanied by a hero. She's trying to frantically communicate something to you, but you're still half asleep. They tell you a group of demons is after your life. You still don't grasp the urgency of the situation. One of your underling barges in next, shouting that humans are liars. They're followed by another group of demons, crying that everything was that first underling's plan. Everyone is shouting over each other now, and it's very annoying. You yell for all of them to shut their traps. You have no doubt that your servants would let their ambulance cloud their judgment and lead them to try to take their throne. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone to keep you all in your place, crushed beneath my heel. Saying that made you feel very Overlord-like. You aren't sure if you have the strength to back it up, though. Lately, all you do is sleep. The group demons start muttering something about going back to a plan A and suddenly slam your door shut. You, the maiden, the hero, and one of your underlings are trapped inside. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. The underling pounds on the door, cursing at their friends for betraying them. The hero pounds on the door as well, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. So this is how you'll die, burned alive in your own room by those you thought you could trust. You should have expected this from a bunch of idiot demons, though. You notice the maiden crying. Why does she have to die over something that has nothing to do with her? Perhaps she was cursed from the moment she spoke to you. You wonder if you're cursed as well. You're so filled with anger and frustration you don't even notice that you've grabbed the underling those traitors blamed everything on. They cry for mercy, saying they were dragged into the plot knowing they'd be killed if they took your side. They cry that they didn't want to have to kill you. You almost feel sorry for them. Well, I think we're gonna have to first kill them, and then we gotta come back and forgive them. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You have to die again. I don't want you to die again. You pierce their chest with your claws. They scream. The hero backs away. He is wise not to interfere. They've stopped moving, but you keep digging and twisting your claws into them. It doesn't make you feel any better. The underling's corpse burns along with you and the two humans. Spiteful Overlord End. Alright, but we got something new. This time, we forgive. We're not an evil tyrant. Forgive. You release the underling. Killing them wouldn't make you feel any better. Besides, they've already gotten their punishment. You'll all burn together. Overlord's true end. What do you mean? Before you've taken back to reset the story once again, You pause for a moment.